Consider that Jennifer has a small backyard plot and she decides that she wants to grow some lettuce. So she gets a few seeds from a neighbor and plants out her backyard plot. And after they grow and mature, she finds herself with 7 head of lettuce. Jennifer is really excited about this, and she boasts to her neighbor how she has reaped 7 head of lettuce. And her neighbor says, well, you know, for the size of your plot and the number of seeds I gave you, you really ought to have gotten more than that. So the neighbor says, how much fertilizer did you use? And Jennifer says, fertilizer? What's that? So the neighbor explains what fertilizer is, and Jennifer goes off to the farm store, gets herself a small bag of fertilizer, uses it for her second season, and she finds herself with 13 head of lettuce. And this is really exciting. She says to herself, well, this fertilizer seems to be a good thing. Let me get some more. So third time around, she tries 2 bags of fertilizer. She gets 17 head of lettuce. Thus encouraged, she tries 3 bags, 19 head of lettuce, 4 bags, 20 head of lettuce. Well, we see a pattern that has emerged here. The first one is that adding more fertilizer increases her yield. But the second pattern is that each additional bag of fertilizer increases her yield by less. Jennifer is experiencing diminishing returns. This is the law of diminishing returns. It says that holding all other factors constant, increments to one input will eventually yield diminishing additions to output, diminishing marginal product. Now, there are 2 key elements to this law. The first one is holding all other inputs constant. In the case of Jennifer's lettuce growing, the size of the land that she was growing on remained the same. She didn't bring additional, acreage into production. And the amount of labor remained the same. It still was only Jennifer doing the planting and the watering and the reaping. The only factor, the only input that changed was the amount of fertilizer. If other inputs are changing at the same time, then there is no claim that returns are going to diminish. The second key word in this definition is the word eventually. There's nothing to say that returns must always diminish. Indeed, it is possible that when you increment only one input, the additions to your output can increase for a while, maybe for a long while. But ultimately, you're going to exhaust the limit of all the other factors that are not changing, and diminishing returns is going to set in. So that's the law of diminishing returns.